In this video, I'm going to be talking about how becoming a computer programmer tripled my income. But first, if we've never met before, my name is Andrew, and I started this channel to help other people get motivation to become a programmer and also learn skills that they may need while programming. In the future, I might be interviewing some other people to talk about other skills besides just programming that are related to programming, to give people an idea of what other jobs are out there in the programming field. Hit the like button and subscribe to help the channel grow. It really helps the videos. So getting into the story of how I actually tripled my income, it starts out with me going to a university, and I started with computer programming. After 2 years, I decided I didn't want to take 4 years of Spanish, so I got out of computer programming and got into business. And so I got a business degree, which didn't amount to me finding a good job after college. So I took a job. I took a couple jobs. After about 10 years, I was only making $13 an hour. It really isn't enough for my wife and my daughter and I to live in an apartment at the time. So I had to figure out something else because I was still paying about $400 a month on student loans. I just had to do something. So I decided to go back to school, get a master's degree in management information systems. But when I was getting close to graduating, I was no closer to having a job. And then I found this class online. At that point online, I found a website called Code Academy that would teach you how to code. And this isn't sponsored by any means, but I started taking those classes. So I was working full-time, I was going to school full-time, and then I was taking classes online at Code Academy. And after 3 weeks of doing those classes, I decided that that's actually what I really wanted to do as a job. And I didn't sign up for like a premium thing. This was back when Code Academy was just first starting. So I just did all the free classes on HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. I just used these Code Academy classes, and that gave me the confidence I needed to start applying for some computer programming jobs. And one of the places that I sent out a resume to interviewed me, and they took a chance on me having no real programming experience besides, doing these tutorials online for about 3 weeks. And I got a job there, and with that initial offer, I already doubled my income. Doing 3 weeks of programming classes online for maybe, a half hour, an hour a night, I already doubled my income just with that skill, and that was years ago. So the intro is even probably higher than it was for me when I started. And I don't want to give you dollar amounts too much because that's all regional. So if you're in Nebraska, it's different than Florida. So it really depends on your cost of living. You can easily probably find double to triple what a $13 an hour job was. This isn't where my income stopped growing because that was just the introduction to computer programming. So one of the secrets about computer programming is that once you get in the job, you might have to study for a bit at the time. But I was used to working a full-time job and then programming on top of going to school as well. So I used those same habits when I got the job, and I would, work all day and not make it very far in my project. But then I'd go home and study, reading documentation and kind of rebuilding the projects at home. So I would actually get double or triple the programming time in as most of my coworkers. Because when you're a programmer full-time at a place, you might spend a lot of time in meetings, you might spend a lot of time on email, and you just don't get that dedicated practice time. And that's the most important time you can have. You'll actually progress 2 to 3 times faster than everyone else in your office if you spend 4 hours a night studying, which is a lot of time, but that'll also accelerate your income and your raises and everything else, your titles. So just you can really progress really fast when you start if you just take that time to study and study the right stuff. Get really good at the languages, know how everything works, kind of know what those fundamentals are. And in 2 years, I was making enough to be 3 times what I was, not what I was starting off at this company, but what I was making when I was only making $13 an hour. So it really accelerated quickly for me. But I think that's true for anyone out there, where I know quite a few people who they've moved up over time, and it's not like you just go get the job and you sit at your desk and you make that income. If you just focus your study on a certain need or niche, you're able to accelerate that growth. You can focus on testing practices, quality, security. There's all these different areas that you can focus on. Agile tools, agile coaching. There's all these different things you can do, but if you just focus on those areas, you can definitely separate yourself from your coworkers and maybe even financially make that jump that you need to make more money. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. And I want to make other videos from other people with the related fields that can kind of tell their story about how they got into what they're doing. And if you guys want to see those videos, just let me know in the comments.